Yes, people, welcome back to the 1894 for a Sporting versus City preview. The Champions League is back, a new year, a new opportunity. Let's get into our thoughts right now. Right, Luke, like I said, new year, new opportunities. The last time we were in knockout football in the Champions League, it was heartbreak, wasn't it, in Porto? But now we return to Portugal to play Sporting Lisbon, a team, I'm going to be honest with you guys, I don't know a huge amount about Sporting Lisbon, so if any of you people watching at home know anything about Portuguese football and Sporting Lisbon, do get below in the comments. Let us know any of your thoughts, because I'd like to know a bit about them. I know they won the Portuguese league last season. I don't know by how much. I just remember seeing some mad celebrations and they're buzzing with that. I think it was their first time in a couple of years. But we played them now in the last 16 of the Champions League. Last year we played Borussia Mönchengladbach. We got through them. We got to the quarterfinals. I think it's a matter of doing the same thing right now at Sporting Lisbon. I don't know what to expect. What are you expecting? How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm feeling good about it. I mean, I was especially after beating Norwich 4-0 yesterday. I was at the time recording this, so feel confident, especially with our second string-ish team. Obviously, I know it's still first-team players now, but a lot of players who don't really get a lot of starts getting there. As good performance overall from everyone yesterday. So I feel confident. I'm sure it'd be a return to that Brentford team, obviously, that we played on Wednesday. So I'm sure it'll be a similar team. So I'm confident that we'll go in. It's all now keeping up the form, keeping going from here, really.
After the Southampton draw, when it was one each a couple of weeks ago, I said on the review I wanted a bounce back. I wanted a sign of rejuvenation and just get back on the horse and don't let it affect us. And I think we've done that. We've scored 10 goals in 3 games and we look fairly on fire. Now, don't get me wrong, we didn't do a Norwich review, by the way, apologies for that, but I was very impressed with Norwich. Don't get me wrong, I know they're not the highest standard of opposition in the Premier League, but we were also very good. I mean, it was great to see players like Raheem Sterling really kicking on, getting his hat-trick. I know the penalty wasn't great, but he still got his hat-trick, he got the match ball. You'll see he's in our predicted 11 for this game when we get there because he's absolutely earned it. It's great to see players now coming into this business end of the season, really kicking into form when it matters the most. This is knockout football. You only get one chance. We played games in the Champions League over the years where we were expected to win and we didn't. Let's throw it back to Lyon, throw it back to Monaco. Should have beaten Liverpool that year. And there's one or two others. Tottenham as well. That was another one. So complacency is a thing that we have to avoid completely going into these games. We're going back to Portugal. Like I said last time we were there, it was a horrible experience. So it will be a mental battle, Luke, I think, as much as it will be a battle on the pitch against a team that we probably don't know a huge amount about.
Exactly, it will be. Yeah, look, at Lisbon, I feel like we'll go look at this game thinking as a free hit. They'll know that most likely it'll be, well, they're obviously hoping to get past us, but obviously they're probably more likely thinking City are going to make it a difficult game for us, no matter, looking from their point of view, no matter what. So it's going to be all about us making sure that we get that early goal, really, because I think Sporting will definitely try and put some pressure on us. I watched I think 1 or 2 games of them, highlights of them. I know they play a very good, like attacking football. I think very similar to not obviously how we play, but still a very good team. So I know it won't be an easy game, but I know that I think if we get that early goal from the start, I think it will definitely help us going forward. Definitely.
We were very impressive in the group stages before Christmas. There it was the only game we dropped points in was PSG away, and there's definitely an argument to say that we should have won that one. But what do you think Pep is thinking now, coming into this new phase of the Champions League? Obviously, got so close to winning it last year. How do you think he's feeling going into the start of it now? He wants the best start possible.
Exactly. I think he learned a lot from that final. But especially for himself, I think in that final, I think as we all keep talking about it, I think he went the wrong mentality in that final. He should have done what he did like this season, make it the most horrible game for Chelsea, but for us. So I know it's obviously in the past now, but how he rectified that this season in both the games against them. We won 1-0 both games. We were way better than them and sort of played at their own game. So I'm pretty sure this is the season where I think he'll learn from his mistakes, realise that this time, you don't have to play the same way every time. If you have to change it up a little bit, maybe do that. But I think for a game like this, I think we'll be okay. I think it'll be the same similar football, and I think a good result in both legs, hopefully anyway. But I think definitely the mentality will definitely have been improved as well. I think the players having that experience as well after such an awful defeat, or awful mentally awful defeat. This will be massive for them. I think all that squad were raring to go on Tuesday. I think this would be. I think that final loss is actually be a good thing for us this year.
Yeah, no, that's a great point. I was actually going to say that as well. I think the hunger levels will be through the roof. We've seen City play really well in the Premier League a lot this season, but I would expect the hunger levels for certain players more so than others, but definitely throughout the whole team and Pep as well, to be through the roof. They're really, really hungry to win this competition. A lot of players now have been with us for a number of years. You know, players like De Bruyne, Mahrez, even Foden was involved around that kind of Spurs game time. There's loads of them. Stones, Sterling, they're all there, and they've been on the knockout stage of the Champions League so many times now, and they've got to the final now. That time they got through that last 16 or that quarter-final hump, got through a semi-final against PSG. Then you lose against a team that you really should be beating, and you've been beaten domestically beforehand. Obviously, there was a cup game, maybe a league game, but you know we had the better of them for quite a while. So the heartbreak should fuel us. I know there's an old kind of theory or conspiracy that you never win your first Champions League final. I don't know how the team ever done it since it's been the Champions League anyway. I know teams have done it when it was just the European Cup. But maybe, like I said, and like you said, the heartbreak of the final is going to be evident in our knockout stage games this year. And I hope that's the case. I hope we just, keep ticking along in the Premier League, pick up 3 points, and try get that wrapped up, if possible, early, and then really go all guns blazing for this Champions League, because I usually don't say this myself, that I really want to win the Champions League. I'm all about the bread and butter, which is your Premier League, but I really want to see it now. I really want to see it. I want to see us go that step further and bring a European Cup to the Etihad, because I think it's about time. So with that much said, let's get over to our predicted starting 11, see who myself and Luke chose. As always, let us know your thoughts as well. Let's go. Right, so our predicted 11, myself and Luke, that we picked, is up on screen for you to see right now. As always, do get involved down below in the comments. Let us know your thoughts on our starting 11. I think myself and Luke unanimously agree that this is our strongest 11 we have available right now. And with that hunger that we spoke about for the Champions League, probably much more increased than it ever has been, we think Pep will want to maybe even wrap up this tie in the first leg if it is possible. I think we definitely have the quality to do so. I'm not trying to be, disrespectful to Sporting Lisbon. They're champions of Portugal for a reason, but we are the champions of England, which is probably the strongest league in the world right now. So if possible, like I said, you want to wrap it up early. Ederson and goals, as always. I don't think there was any doubt over that. Don't need to speak about that. He's top of the range. He's top of the shot for me. Walker obviously has got a 3-game suspension. I think City are in the process of appealing or trying to appeal, but we got no results, something along those lines. I think we can confidently say he won't be available for this game anyway. Whether it'll be the next two after that, we don't know. But this game, Cancelo right back for us. Diaz, Laporte, the trusted centre-back partnership all season, been absolutely fantastic. Stones has been good when called upon. Ake's been good when called upon. But these two, for me, and for Luke, I think as well, are the best we have right now. Zinchenko was very good against Norwich, if you ask me. He's been unfortunate not to get a huge amount of football, because Cancelo, who's usually played on the left, has been absolutely astronomical this season. But with the dropping of Walker, Cancelo will move to the right for us, and Zinchenko, like I said, who was very good against Norwich, will move into left back. Luke, I think this is still obviously no Kyle Walker, but a very strong back four.
Agree, definitely. Yeah, I hope that if we do appeal it, it gets cut down to 2 games, because obviously I don't think we'll miss him very much against Sporting. I think we'll be fine having Cancelo and Zinchenko on the wings for this kind of tie. But obviously, let's say we get a Bayern or a Juventus or someone like that with a bit, obviously a different kind of threat. We'll definitely need to someone like Walker. But obviously, that's in the future, so hopefully it does get sorted out. But for the here and now, that back four's perfect. I mean, Zinni was so good against Norwich. I know Norwich are Norwich, but considering what happened last time we played them at Carrow Road, lost 3-2, that embarrassing performance. That we won't talk about that. But the fact that he played at left back, his first game for a while, obviously with Joao and Carl being both on the wings for a certain amount of time, he played brilliant well and slotted in perfectly. So I'm pretty confident in what he'll do for us on Tuesday. Diaz and Laporte incredible, and obviously Ederson again was always really good. So yeah, the back four is perfect, mate.
I've been honest about it all throughout this video. I don't know a huge amount of Sporting and what attack threat they possess, but like I said, they won the Portuguese league last season. I'm sure they have some pretty nifty attackers that we will experience at some stage throughout these 2 legs. Moving into midfield, I think this is by far the best midfield in England right now. You know that? I'm going to put my neck out there and say that based on current form, I think De Bruyne has really, he's starting to grow into form. He's had his ups and downs this season. He's looking good, if you ask me. Bernardo and Rodri as well, beside him. 2 of the best players in Europe right now. Those 2 absolutely consistently smashing it. And if you took both those 2 out, yes, we do have the depth to bring in good quality, but you can't replace those 2 for what they actually bring to the game. The way Rodri speeds up our game, the way he's able to control the midfield, now able to break up attacks. I think it's evident that Rodri has studying. He's been studying his whole time. He's been with Pep, and watching Fernandinho, who's an absolute artist at being a defensive midfielder. Bernardo, I don't even know what to speak about him. He's just consistently the engine room for us. He's the engine room of our midfield, constantly moving, constantly making space, moving the ball, and making life essentially a nightmare for opposition midfields. So, Luke, these three players are top players, and I think any midfield in the world would fear going up against them.
100%. It's like the updated version of the Dino, De Bruyne, and David Silva midfield three of a couple of years ago. Look, I mean, Kevin, obviously, as you know, this season, up and down. Obviously, we're all big fans of him. We love him so much. And we have to be fair and critical. Obviously, he hasn't had his best season, but you can see the confidence is finally starting to come back into him again. He looks like he's hungry again. Obviously, I know he was anyway, but you can definitely see he's starting to get over that annoying injury thing he had, obviously, towards the end of last year. So I definitely feel like we're starting to see the prime De Bruyne again, which I think was what we definitely need going into the business end now. Like from February towards May, this is where it gets intense. So we've got FA Cup, Champions League, Prem. We'll need him at top gear. And Bernardo and Rodri, right? I mean, obviously Bernardo played well at Norwich. I thought he scored. We hit the post, so I'm really lucky not to get 5 or 6 in that game. But Rodri, especially, I love Dino. I love him so much. He's been one of my favourite ever players playing for the club. But you can see that the legs have gone, which is a real shame. But when you're 37, 38, that's credible in itself that he's still putting a decent performance despite the loss of legs. So this midfield three is incredible, mate. I think it definitely will put up, it'll scare anyone in the world. So yeah, I picked this midfield three, mate. Perfect for this kind of game.
I saw Jamie Redknapp, who's obviously played against the likes of Keane and Vieira, saying something along the lines of Fernandinho is the best defensive midfielder the Premier League's ever seen. Is that the quote?
I think it was, yeah. It was. I was like, okay. I mean, don't get me wrong, right? I love Dino. I always put Candice, but to have that kind of accolade put on, I know it's from Jamie Redknapp, but it's still a appreciation of him. Shows how wonderful, how great he's been. I think it's probably his last season with us, but either way, I'm bloody happy to have him at his club. He's an incredible player, man. Awesome player.
Yeah, what a compliment to him to hear that from Redknapp, whatever. But yeah, the midfield, I'm absolutely satisfied with this. Moving into the front three, these are three players who are absolutely on fire. I think they all scored against Norwich, didn't they? Or did Mahrez score against Norwich? No. Sterling hat-trick, Foden got one. Sterling, absolutely. I'm obviously, if you guys have watched us for a while, a massive personal fan of Jack Grealish. I love Jack Grealish, but I can't turn down Raheem Sterling right now. He's really proved. I backed him now. I did back Sterling all the time, and there's people on the channel will vouch for me on that. When Sterling was going through a rough patch, I said he will come good, and he's doing so. And I'm delighted with that because he's a super player, and he's proved his worth in the last 3-4 months. I think he's been getting better, and he's been consistently getting better. So for us, he comes into this team because we think he's the strongest in his position right now. Grealish will get more opportunities, and I'm looking forward to that as well. Foden, another scorer against Norwich. Quite a fortunate goal, wasn't it? He is consistently reliable as well. Likewise with Mahrez. Mahrez has been absolutely on fire this season. I can't see us going into any big game without Riyad Mahrez as long as he's fit right now. The guy is not just consistently scoring, he's also a big game player. And we know that not just from this season, all throughout last season. How many goals in the Champions League did he get in the knockout stages was staggering. So he has to play right now. People like Jesus, I know he's carrying a knock recently and whatnot, but I can't see anybody knocking Mahrez off that right wing while he's in this form. And I think he's going to stay in this form as long as he stays fit because he's ice cold, this guy. Look, this is a very, very good front three based on recent form, and I've got a lot of confidence in them.
Agreed. Yeah, I do too. Look, for me, Sterling, right? I think obviously he can vouch for me as well. Obviously, even Dara as well said it as well. Sterling went through a run of form. Every player will go for a drop in form, no matter how good they are. Look at Messi now. I know Messi's obviously a different level of ability to any player we've ever seen, but even he's going for a drop of form right now. Despite obviously getting your goal assist here and there. Ronaldo's the same as well. The best players will always have drop in form, and I always find that drop of form will actually make you even better going forward. And look at Reed now, just goals after goals to goals. Despite maybe missing a penalty, he still got in there, got his hat trick. I think he's definitely the right player to have in his team right now, especially obviously he'll be on the left because we've got Riyad on the right, and Riyad's been unbelievable this season as well. And it's just we need this. We need this kind of performances from all of our attackers right now. We need everyone to be competing because if everyone's on top form, obviously Grealish has had no many goals, assists as same with Jesus, but they've still contributed in some way to this season, and we definitely need everyone firing because. Especially as I said to you earlier on about the business end of the season, this is where it gets interesting. This is where the games get really tight, and this is definitely where we'll need him. And Foden as well. Foden hasn't been at his best recently. I don't think he's been, awful. He hasn't obviously been at his goal scoring or assisting best as he would have been. But I mean, that game against Norwich, I think he definitely needed that goal. Despite how lucky it was, he needed that goal for his confidence. I think the game on Tuesday will definitely give him that, hopefully that confidence to go and score a couple more against Sporting, to try and get us through that tie. So yeah, I think the front three, mate, is perfect. It's the perfect team, mate.
Yeah, and Sterling, obviously, just to compliment him further, he's now our highest goal scorer under Pep Guardiola at away fixtures, eclipsing people like Sergio Aguero and De Bruyne and whoever. So that's a massive, massive thing for Sterling. And if that doesn't prove to you that this guy is worth keeping and worth, being patient with when he does go through rough periods, I don't know what will. So that is our predicted 11. I hope you like it. Let us know your thoughts. As always, down below, we love hearing what you think. On our predicted 11 and what you would do. Would you make any changes? Is this okay with you? Let us know your thoughts. Now, my favourite time of any preview, Luke, is always to score predictions, because it's quite exciting to see if you get it correct. Prove that you have ball knowledge. Prove how much time you spend on Twitter. What is your score prediction?
I want to go 3-0. I think we'll keep clean sheet. I think the team will definitely try and I think it'll be a much more of a resolute performance than it will be an actual action-packed one. Because especially as we're away from home, I think away goals are gone now, aren't they? There's no more away goals anymore. So obviously it doesn't matter if we don't get away goals, but I think we still want to keep that defensive solidity away from home, because I think Sporting, with definitely being at home, they want to push and try and get a couple goals to take with them to. Yes, he had in start of March. I think we'll play them, or middle of March. So we want to try and make sure that we get a few goals in. So I think I think it'll be a 3-0 comfortable performance, and hopefully we can get get confidence towards the second leg.
Yeah, I think I'd take a 3-0. I'm going to go with a 2-0 myself, just basically because it's away, and just because we're going to get back into the flow of Champions League football. I'm not going to take it. I take a 2-0. I take a 3-0. I just take a win. Do you know what I mean? As long as we don't go back to the Etihad, not losing, it's fine with me. 3-0 from Luke, 2-0 from myself. Let us know your score predictions, as always, down below. Comments as well, and the player selections, all stuff, all your thoughts on the Champions League and what the next few months hold for us. Do leave a like on this video. It helps us a lot if you would. The channel is growing fantastically right now. The support's been immense recently, so leave a like. It helps us a lot. And subscribe if you're new yourself. Thanks very much for watching, and good night. God bless.